This is the AEW NJPW Forbidden Door 2025 full show results video, which takes place at the O2 Arena in London, England. The show started with an 8-man tag team match between Paragon, El Desperado, and Yuya Uemura vs. Crew and Don Callis family. Paragon, El Desperado, and Yuya Uemura clashed with Alexander, Hechicero, Andretti, and Rush in a chaotic 8-man tag. Momentum shifted back and forth with constant double teams and heavy strikes. After a wild brawl, Uemura rallied, survived the onslaught, and secured the win by pinning Rush with the deadbolt. After the match, the Don Callis family starts attacking the winners, but Tomohiro Ishii makes his way to the ring. He and Lance Archer face off, and Ishii hits Archer with a brainbuster. Ishii tries to celebrate with Strong and O'Reilly, but Strong isn't into it. The next match happened between Jet Speed and Michael Oku vs. Gates of Agony and Ricochet. Ricochet and Oku opened the trios clash before Gates of Agony blindsided Oku, dominating early. Jet Speed and Bailey countered with high-flying dropkicks, briefly swinging momentum. Oku fought back with resilience, but Toa Lyona's power and Ricochet's precision kept control. Despite Oku's fiery comeback, Ricochet sealed the deal with his finisher Spirit Gun. The next match happened between Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale vs. Megan Bayne and Triangle of Madness. The 8-woman tag erupted in chaos as the faces gained early control. Statlander endured heavy punishment from Hart, Blue, and Thekla before Cameron and Aminata shifted momentum. Megan Bayne's power became the deciding factor, despite Nightingale's fiery comeback and Aminata brawling with Thekla up the ramp. In the closing moments, Harley Cameron nearly stole the win, but Bayne countered, hitting a crushing Liger bomb for the decisive victory. At AEW Forbidden Door in London, Tony Khan, Dr. Martha Hart, and Oi Hart addressed the record-breaking O2 Arena crowd. Martha expressed excitement, backed Hangman Page in the AEW World Title match, and engaged fans, while Khan confirmed the historic attendance milestone with a brief promo. The next match happened between Bullet Club War Dogs vs. The Ops for the AEW World Trios Championship. The AEW World Trios Championship match saw Shibata, Joe, and Maloney battle War Dogs with chaos inside and outside the ring. Connors and Drilla targeted Shibata, while interference from Ghetto backfired. Shibata and Will fought back, but momentum shifted again. Ultimately, Samoa Joe hit a decisive muscle buster on Robbie X, securing the Ops victory and retaining the titles. The next match happened between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage vs. Killswitch and Kip Sabian. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage clashed with Kip Sabian and Killswitch in a chaotic tag match. Sabian and Killswitch's miscommunications saw the Dinosaur Man repeatedly throw his own partner at Copeland, causing tension within the patriarchy. Mother Wayne's interference allowed Killswitch to dominate briefly, but Copeland and Cage fought back. Christian unleashed furious chops before being cut down, while Copeland landed a big spear to turn the tide. Despite Sabian's desperate attempts, including a near-fall roll-up, he was overwhelmed. In the end, Christian threw Sabian into a spear from Copeland, setting up the finish. Cage pinned Sabian, giving Copeland and Cage the pinfall victory. Post-match, Cage offers Copeland a hand, and he shakes it. The next match happened between Hiromu Takahashi vs. Kyle Fletcher for the AEW TNT Championship. Kyle Fletcher defended the AEW TNT Championship in a hard-hitting battle against Hiromu Takahashi. Both men exchanged brutal offense, from Fletcher's Dragon Suplex, Last Ride, and a devastating Revolution Tombstone to Takahashi's fiery comebacks with a countered DDT on the apron and a Sunset Flip powerbomb to the floor. The match escalated with near-fall after near-fall, each refusing to stay down. Hiromu's resilience shone as he laughed off strikes and hit explosive counters, but Fletcher's relentless assault proved too much. After multiple reversals and punishing exchanges, Fletcher finally connected with a decisive brainbuster, earning the pinfall to retain his TNT Championship. The next match happened between Alex Windsor vs. Bozilla vs. Mercedes vs. Persephone for the AEW TBS Championship. Mercedes defended her AEW TBS Championship in a thrilling four-way battle against Bozilla, Alex Windsor, and Persephone. Early on, all three challengers teamed up to neutralize Mercedes, but chaos quickly broke loose as Bozilla overpowered her opponents with suplexes and corner attacks. High-flying dives from Mercedes, Windsor, and Persephone kept the pace wild, including a spectacular Tower of Doom that wiped everyone out. Near-falls piled up as Persephone, Windsor, and Mercedes traded roll-ups and pin attempts, with Bozilla breaking through with her raw power. A double statement maker submission from Mercedes nearly ended it, but Windsor countered with a sharpshooter before Bozilla broke it up brutally. Bozilla connected with a moonsault, yet Mercedes barely saved the match. The closing stretch saw a Poison Frankensteiner, Codebreaker, and Fisherman Buster, but Mercedes' resilience carried her through. In the end, Mercedes reversed Persephone into a victory roll to secure the pinfall and retain her TBS championship. The next match happened between Nigel McGuinness vs. Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. defended the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in a technical masterclass against Nigel McGuinness. The match began with slick counters, wrist locks, and submissions, with both men targeting arms and joints. McGuinness fired up with brutal lariats, a London Dungeon, and even snapped Sabre's finger, while Sabre responded with vicious bicep stomps, armbars, and a Fujiwara armbar. The action intensified with near falls off the Tower of London and pendulum lariats, as Daniel Garcia tried to rally Nigel from ringside. In the end, after a flurry of pin counters, Sabre caught McGuinness in a sunset flip to retain his championship. Post-match, a sporting Zack Sabre Jr. shakes Nigel's hand and they embrace while Daniel Garcia glowers at ringside. Daniel Garcia gets in the ring and raises Nigel's hand as Toni Schiavone has a special announcement for us. Toni announces attendance as 18,992, as Tony Khan said earlier, the largest crowd in the O2 for a wrestling show. Queen Aminata and Thekla spill out of the entryway, still brawling from earlier, apparently. Fight forever chants rain down. Queen with a headbutt, but Thekla's Triangle of Madness teammates make the save and hold her up, spider walking. Jamie Hayter's music hits, and she attacks Julia Hart in sky blue, then Triangle of Madness runs off as Hayter checks on Aminata, raising her arm to a huge pop from the crowd. The next match happened between Brodito vs FTR vs Hurt Syndicate for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. FTR battled Bandito and Brody King in a chaotic clash with Hurt Syndicate interference and surprise distractions from Ricochet and Gates of Agony. Lashley and Shelton dominated early, but momentum shifted as King unleashed power moves. Despite chair shots and chaos outside, Bandito hit a frog splash after Dax's superplex, sealing the win, becoming the new AEW Tag Team Champions. The next match happened between Okada vs Shane Swerve Strickland for the AEW Unified Championship. Okada and Swerve Strickland went back and forth in a high-stakes AEW Unified Championship clash. Swerve stunned early with precision offense, but Okada countered with punishing dropkicks and a tombstone on the floor. Both men traded near falls, house calls, lariats, reversals, and close pin attempts kept the crowd on edge. Despite Strickland's resilience and explosive counters, Okada's relentless attack, including a shin breaker into the turnbuckle, wore him down. In the end, Okada nailed the Rainmaker to secure victory and retain his championship. After Okada's victory, he viciously targeted Strickland's knee with steel steps and a chair until Prince Nana rushed in with a pipe. Don Callis led Okada away, but Wardlow ambushed, brutalizing Nana and Swerve before siding with Callis. Konosuke Takeshita joined, nodding approval as the Don Callis family stood united. The next match happened between Athena vs Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. Toni Storm and Athena clashed in a brutal AEW Women's World Championship battle. Storm started strong with dropkicks and a Storm Zero on the floor to Billy Starks, but Athena turned the tide by sending Storm crashing into the LED barricade. Athena dominated with relentless face smashes, suplexes, and near falls, while Storm fought back with lariats, a perfect plex, spinebuster, and tornado DDT. Billy tried interfering, nearly costing Toni, but Mina Shirakawa arrived to even the odds. The action was chaotic with both women trading big moves, including a Tiger Driver, Frankensteiner, and Liger Bomb, but neither could finish. In the end, Storm countered Athena, locking in the TCM Chicken Wing, forcing the Fallen Goddess to tap out to retain her title. The next match happened between Hangman Adam Page vs MJF for the AEW Men's World Championship. Hangman Adam Page and MJF battled in a brutal war for the AEW Men's World Championship. Friedman stalled early, but Page kept pressing with heavy strikes, dives, and a deadeye through a table. Both men bled heavily, trading vicious piledrivers, near falls, and counters. MJF repeatedly tried to cheat low blows, foreign objects, and even using his dynamite diamond ring, but referee Bryce Remsburg caught him. Despite endless punishment, Page survived the Heatseeker and rallied back. After foiling Max's dirty tricks, Hangman nailed a deadeye followed by the buckshot lariat to finally put Friedman down and retain the AEW World Championship. In the main event of the show, we saw a lights-out steel cage match between Darby Allin, Golden Lovers, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay vs Death Riders, Gabe Kidd, and Young Bucks. Absolute chaos in the cage as Golden Lovers, Darby Allin, Tanahashi, and Ospreay battled Moxley, Claudio, Kidd, and the Bucks. Brutal spots with barbed wire, ladders, duct tape, forks, and even gummy bears kept the crowd wild. After coffin drop carnage and Ospreay's insane moonsault, Tanahashi sealed victory with his final UK high-fly flow on Matt Jackson. After the match, Claudio ambushed Ospreay, and Moxley viciously targeted his injured neck with repeated paradigm shifts and a brutal chair stomp, leaving Will unconscious as chaos erupted, and the show goes off the air. How would you rate AEW Forbidden Door 2025? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.